Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Micah Parsons returning kickoffs? Dallas Cowboys coach would love to see it. Micah Parsons is the face of the Dallas Cowboys defense, but could he take his talents to another phase of the game? Probably not, but if he did, Cowboys special teams coordinator John Fassel believes he'd be a tremendous asset on special teams. While discussing the NFL's new kickoff rules on the Ross Tucker Football podcast, Fassel shared his pipe dream of Parsons returning kicks. "You know Micah, so he has lobbied me in the past to just be the primary kickoff returner," Fassel said, for NFL.com. "I'm like, Micah, that's the question, you got to go a little further up than me on that one. But would I love to see him back there? Absolutely, because he would be fantastic. He would catch it, and he'd run wild. And he'd probably get incredible yards. But that ain't going to happen. I'm aware of that." As Fassel admits, the Cowboys would never risk Parsons injuring himself on kick returns. The star linebacker has played just 15 special teams snaps in his 3-year career, with all but one of them coming in his rookie season. That said, there is somewhat of a basis for Fassel's belief. Parsons hasn't returned kickoffs, but he was on the kickoff coverage team for a bit at Penn State. Fassel got to see Parsons up close while scouting for the Los Angeles Rams, and the All-Pros kickoff coverage skills left him thoroughly impressed. "I remember watching Micah on kickoff coverage at Penn State as a freshman because I was scouting Nick Scott, a player we had drafted to the Rams," Fassel said. "Then I was looking at Cam Brown also, but who's that guy on kickoff, when Parsons was a freshman? Then, you look him up. I don't know who he is, but he'll probably be alright someday." But Micah has asked about being a primary kickoff returner. That hasn't been allowed yet, probably not going to be allowed unless you say, "Hey, in the game we're down by 6 and there's 8 seconds left in the game and we got to score a touchdown and kick return to win it. Maybe we put Micah back there as a second returner." The reality? Every once in a while at Cowboys practice, Micah fields a punt or takes a pitch out from Dak Prescott, sort of as a goof. Maybe as a way to keep the energetic star engaged. But Parsons certainly won't be unseating Kayvontae Turpin for the role of kick returner anytime soon, leaving his and Fassel's idea as an entertainingly silly one to think about. Should Dallas Cowboys sign Rams center Brian Allen in free agency? The Dallas Cowboys are in need of a center, and while they could add one in the draft later this month, there may still be an option on the free agent market. Bleacher Report suggests that the team could look to sign Los Angeles Rams center Brian Allen to a 1-year deal worth $3 million. The starting center of the Los Angeles Rams' run to a Super Bowl in 2021, Brian Allen has faded in recent years, Bleacher Report writes. In 2022, he only played in 5 games because of knee and thumb injuries. Last season, he mustered just 34 snaps in 5 appearances after Coleman Shelton landed the starting nod at center. Still, Allen's resume is screaming bounce-back candidate. While the Dallas Cowboys may have a rookie in mind, Jackson Powers Johnson looks appealing at number 24 overall. Adding a player like the Michigan State product can reduce the make-or-break feel around the position. Allen, who turns 29 this season, deserves at least one more opportunity to anchor an offensive line. Allen, 28, would certainly be a risk for the Cowboys, but he's someone who could pay off. He has playoff experience, something any rookie wouldn't be able to provide. Plus, he might be cheaper than a first-round pick. It would also allow the Cowboys to go in a different direction to start their draft class, or they could pick someone who could sit behind Allen for this year before being thrust into the spotlight. Needless to say, the Cowboys' interior offensive line will be looking different soon, and it may be Allen leading the change. One argument against drafting a quarterback is the timeline of the Dallas Cowboys salary cap. For the purposes of this discussion, we are going to assume that the Dallas Cowboys have decided to move on from Dak Prescott. Obviously, that would suggest that the plan is to let him play the 2024 season out and walk in free agency in 2025. Hypothetical established. We noted a couple of weeks ago here at BTB that it would behoove the team to prepare for this potential reality by drafting a quarterback a few weeks from now. The likelihood of this seemingly had some wind blown into its sails earlier in the week when Adam Schefter noted that he believes Dallas to be a sleeper to take a quarterback. It makes sense for Dallas to draft somebody in the name of having a quarterback on the roster in 2025. Prescott, Trey Lance and Cooper Rush are all entering the final year of their respective deals, but there are a lot of people talking about day 2 candidates like Michael Penix Jr. or Bo Nix. Obviously, committing a top 100 pick to the position would send a loud signal that Doc's days in Dallas are, in fact, numbered. The most logical thing would be for Dallas to throw a dart at the quarterback position on day 3. Here are some candidates for that option, as it would provide them with a lottery ticket option at the very least, much like Prescott was himself 8 years ago. Attacking the position early on feels a bit too rich given the overall state of the roster. Spending a top 100 pick feels like a poor decision mostly because of the massive needs across the rest of the roster that require the help more immediately. An investment at the quarterback position with a draft pick would be an investment more tilted towards the future than the present. But beyond that, investing a premium resource in a quarterback now would also be failing to set up a situation that allows a proper capitalization of the new signal caller. If we presume that we are talking about a second or third round pick, then we are talking about a quarterback with a 4-year contract. The timeline of everything involved really matters here. As things stand, Prescott's cap charges for 2024 and 2025 are, rounding down here, $55 million and $40 million, respectively. One of the primary, if not the primary, benefits of having a quarterback on a rookie contract is the financial flexibility that it affords you to build around him, something the Cowboys failed to do properly when Prescott himself was on the books for 4th-round money. If the Cowboys were to draft a would-be future starter outside of the 1st round this year, they would be financially handicapping themselves for 50% of the window that the new player would provide. You obviously cannot pass on a quarterback if you truly believe he is the guy, but you have to constantly be aware of situations in the present and future simultaneously. Ultimately, it seems a bit unlikely that Dallas will draft a quarterback early on, but until the draft comes and goes, the speculation will continue to be there. Choosing to take one on the first 2 days would say a lot of things, including a defiance of all timelines involved.